we are talking about marketing tips and tricks. And Barbara, can you please get some tape so I can tape the, sorry, I just realized I'm looking at two different places because I'm restreaming in two places, so I'm going to fix that. But for right now, I'm going to pin who I am, what I'm talking about, and how you can contact us. Let me pin that comment.
Can I go for it?
Yep. Okay. So thanks for tuning in, you guys. This is Makers Row Live. If you guys aren't familiar with Makers Row, you definitely should be. It is a platform that has a bunch of different vendors and manufacturers and people that you can contact for helping work with your project. Companies like Vmora, different companies that have buttons and trims and so many things. So you can contact us through Makers Row. We have a page on there. You go to makersrow.com/v-mora, and they are launching Embark, or they already have launched Embark. And Embark is a platform that will have a bunch of different professionals on it so that you can watch our videos or our how-tos. There's a bunch of different information that you can contact experts to help you through the process. And if you use the promo code ANNA, A-N-N-A, to sign up at embarklive.com, you'll get your first 6 months free. So without further ado, I'm going to get into today's content. Yes, I have a new hairdo. I just did it this weekend. So cut off all my hair and dyed it blonde. Thank you for noticing. Yeah, I love it. It's been really fun. So today we're going to talk about 5 tips for marketing and different marketing strategies, things that you can use in your business so that you can have a successful launch. The first tip I wanted to talk about is, this one is big. And I don't follow this the best either, but when you are thinking about your Instagram and your Facebook, you want to think about your content in quantity over quality. So many designers get stuck in this perfectionist world where they're like, if it's not perfect, I don't want to post it. So therefore you end up posting nothing, right? And it's been shown that if you are consistent and you continue to post, even if every post isn't perfect, and now, especially now with COVID, people are kind of relaxing on, having these professional shots and the professional photographer and the hair and makeup, and they're having models just shoot from home or shoot in their backyards or have their husbands take photos, but you need to generate this content. And now, for the past 3 months, it hasn't been as readily available for you to hire the professionals and create a team. So it's even become more relaxed, which is a great thing because you can, not spend as much money on every photo shoot, but concentrate on creating this content for your Instagram. You want to have posting as much as possible, at least 3 times a week. You want to sit down. My biggest tip is you want to organize your time because you're going to have the blogs, you're going to have Facebook, you're going to have Instagram, you're going to have live events, you're going to have contests, and sit down and organize when you're going to post all of these things. I suggest doing it 6 weeks out so that you have all of your content, that you know what days you're doing a live event, that you know what days you're doing a contest, and you can have your Instagram post directly to your Facebook and know that on Mondays you're posting, on Wednesdays you're posting, and on Fridays you're doing a live event. So my number 2 tip is to just sit down and pre-plan so that you're not so overwhelmed every time something comes up. So number 1 is to remember quantity over quality. And then number 2 is pre-plan your posts, your schedule. Just be really organized and get it, there's tools that you can use that will help schedule your posts, things like that. So make sure that you sit down and just plan. Number 3 is, doing as much as you can to engage with your customer, right? And the live events, what I'm doing right now is a perfect example. I get to come on and talk and get questions. So planning a live event, and designers say, well, what do I plan a live event around? And that can be anything. It can be, if you're going to be writing a blog, you can do a blog post and then do a live event where you talk about that blog and bring up that topic, whatever that may be. You can do just a Q&A with the designer. You can do, there's so much you can do, but again, when you're pre-planning and you're sitting down, you can plan what these live events are going to be so that you're prepared, and you can say, okay, commit to every other Friday at 2 o'clock of doing a live event. But live events are a great way to connect with your audience, get them here, asking questions, knowing who your customer is. You know, you can ask them what kind of colors they'd like to see, or, you know, anything at all. But doing a live event for a marketing tip is really, really huge because it gives you that live engagement with your customer. As you guys can tell, you're all here, so you're getting live engagement with me. So do that for your customers just the way that Makers Row is doing that for you. Number 4 is contests. So putting together some sort of contest and generating emails from that contest. You can say, sign up for my email list and you'll be entered in a contest to win a dress for free. Or write an essay around what inspires you and the most inspiring story. We're going to post and then do a live photo shoot with you. Something where you can, again, it's all about engagement. Number 4 is, I'm sorry, that was number 4. Number 5 is researching hashtags. So researching hashtags, your SEO, all of that are keywords that will help your product be found when people are searching in general. So knowing what those words are, what's trending on Instagram, what other hashtags are being used. So that is number 5, is to spend some time when you're doing your organization and researching your hashtags so that you know what you're going to post ahead of time, and knowing, like, in, you know, fashion, dresses, these 5 hashtags seem to have a lot of following. If you're doing baby clothes, what are those hashtags? So you can just spend some time on Instagram and see what's trending, and then also be sure to use those keywords on your website so that if people are Googling, that your pieces will come up in the Google. Although Google's pretty hard nowadays, you'll have to work with a digital marketing company and work on SEOs, maybe some paid advertisement. But these tips are specifically for people that are trying to do it on their own, which you can do, but it takes a little bit more time. So you want to have patience. Just stay at it. Just keep posting. Stay at it. You know, when people comment on your page, make sure to comment back. If they like something, maybe you can find something to like of theirs. But you just want to stay consistent. So I'm going to review those 5 tips again and then see if there's any questions from you guys. But number 1 is to remember that it's, and I always say this wrong, so I pause, it's quantity over quality. So make sure that you're posting consistently on Instagram and Facebook and creating content, and don't get stuck up in having to be perfect, like having to have the professional photographer and model and all of that. We want to have content on your Instagram over anything else. And number 2 is staying with a schedule. So sitting down prior, taking some time, knowing when you're going to post so that it takes the thinking out of it, because it can be overwhelming when you think of, like, all the things you have to do, the Instagram, the Twitter, the blogs, the live events, the contests. But if you have this scheduled out, and then you can look and be like, oh, it's Monday, and on Monday I post on Instagram. Oh, it's Tuesday. Tuesday I post on Twitter. Oh, it's Wednesday. I'm going to do a live event today. Then it takes the thinking out of it and makes it really, it makes it a lot more manageable, because you'll see, oh, I only have one thing to do today. And if you've already planned it, it'll take, 3 minutes. Then you want to, 3 is live events. So having live events where you can engage with your audience. 4 is running a contest. There's something creative that will keep your audience engaged, and you can collect emails. Number 5 is researching hashtags and knowing what's trending in your industry. All right, so now I'm going to answer some questions. I see that some might have scrolled. Just give me a second to find them. And if you have any questions, go ahead and type them in. Okay. What about using a bit to manage, but not replacing personal interaction? So there's a lot of tools. You want to research them and see what works for you. But yes, you can have the pre-scheduled posts. But I am not a fan of the bots that respond for you because I feel like it's disingenuous, and you can tell when somebody's commented on your post that's made from a bot. I mean, unless one day they're going to get better, maybe they're better now. But I feel like having a bot respond on photos for you isn't the best way, but that's my personal opinion. Maybe it works for other people. I know some brands that it does work, and with as much as they post for them, it does help generate more following for them. But my personal feelings is if you have the posts scheduled, but you plan to engage with your audience maybe 10 minutes a day, and let's be real, most of us are on Instagram every day, so it should just, can be part of your routine. If you're not on Instagram or Facebook or social media every day, that's great, more power to you. But just schedule some time, every other day or something where you can just go on and engage in your audience because it's really important. A good tip about making the hashtags from social, are they listed keywords on the website? No, so the keywords on the website, this is where you'll intertwine them possibly in a blog or in the copy of the description of the garment, but they're not just listed, they're somehow in your copy for your website, whether that's through blogs. The more content on your website, the more search keywords your website will come up. So that's why having blogs on your website is a really good idea because it makes it easier to search. How do I figure out what to talk about? Yeah, so it's got to be genuine and something that you're passionate about. If you're doing baby clothes, it can be speaking to the mom. If you're doing fashion streetwear, it can be speaking to anything that has to do with streetwear. If you're doing sustainability, anything to do with sustainability. It doesn't have to be specific to just your product, but you want to have your voice so that you have things to write about. And a lot of times it's just what you're interested in. What are you interested in? What do you like reading? And your client will like that as well. So yes, think about creating a questionnaire. We have one that we work with, our designers with, that just helps you see your voice. Who is your woman? What's important to you? Where are your values? What inspired you? Tell them a story around who you are and why you started this brand, and then speak to what's important to you and, anything that you think your customer will get value out of. What contest prizes that is no cost? I don't know, you have to be creative. Thinking outside of the box is great. So if you think of a contest that has, no price to you, what could that look like? I'm trying to think of some examples offhand. But it could be, I'm put on the spot, but just brainstorm and think about, ask your friends, what would they find value in? Ask some of your customers, what would they find value in? And see what you can offer that would generate some sort of contest of getting people to give you their emails and follow up. It could be like if you're a hand sketcher, maybe you draw them an illustration. It could be, I don't know. That's just what came to my mind. But yeah, if you could definitely, or see what other people are doing as contests and as giveaways. What is the best time frame to post on Instagram? So again, that's going to be different for every designer depending on where your customer is. So you want to test that out. When you're planning on posting, try Monday mornings, see what comes up, how many people like. Try Tuesday evenings, see what happens. So you can obviously use algorithms and hire people to find this out for you, but you can also do a trial and error, see when you get the most likes. Is it on a Sunday? Is it on a Monday morning? And when people are engaging more. So just schedule your first initial post to different times and test the market and see how that happens, record the results, try it again, and figure it out on your own. Or like I said, you can hire someone to do some digital marketing and research for you. But I like to keep my tips based around people that are bootstrapping it, right? So that's a way that you can do that and figure out when is the best time for you to post. How do you engage after not posting after a long hiatus? You can either address that and say why you were gone for a long hiatus, or just start posting. But again, the important part is not to get caught up in the perfectionism of like, what am I going to say? And how am I going to make it perfect? And what am I going to post? And 9 times out of 10, like people won't even have noticed that you didn't post. I see so many posts that are like, I'm back after a long break. And I'm always like, I didn't know you were gone, but I love the new stuff. So you may or may not want to address that. People might have noticed, people might have not. But I can honestly say I've never noticed when someone hasn't posted and then they do this big re-intro post and I'm like, great, I didn't know you were gone. There's so much going on Instagram that if one person isn't posting for a long time, unless it's like an ex-boyfriend you're stalking or something like that, you probably wouldn't notice either. So I wouldn't put too much thought into it. Just, get back on and get in there and start posting. I'd rather respond a week late than use a bot. True, same. What keywords if the product is new? So again, what are the people searching for if they're looking for your product? What are their pain points? What problem are they trying to solve? So if your product is new, there's still going to be keywords that will help people get to your product. And I would just spend some time researching that online. Okay. And hi, Anna, I'm planning on selling in the water apparel and swimwear markets. What other kinds of ideas, suggestions have you found that are best to, I just got popped off of Instagram because my phone is too hot. My phone's too hot. All right, so we are just going to the live. So what apparel and swimwear markets, what other kinds of ideas, suggestions have you found are the best to think about within these categories? Well, anything water related, water sports, kite surfing, what kind of activities are they doing? So just do some research. Just do some research. There's so much there that you should be able to pick top 10 things that people are looking for. So if nobody has any other questions, again, my name is Anna Livermore. I'm from Vmora. We help do production management, pattern samples, branding, marketing. If you're interested in doing a complimentary 20-minute strategy session, you can contact us through Makers Row, makersrow.com. And let me just put this over here in the chat where you can contact me. makersrow.com/v-mora. Okay. Well, thank you all so much for contacting us or tuning in today. We'll be here next Monday at 3 o'clock. So I will see you then.